And we are live here, live and local to North Alabama. I'm your host, Scotty Pete, Scotty, aka Carnivore Scott. And as I do some last minute, changes here, I just thought I would come live. I noticed that Carrie was on for a bit this morning, doing a vertical live and showing us his meal prep. And I thought I'd jump in before more people came on. I do know that this is a big week for a lot of carnivores. Hello and welcome. Big week for a lot of carnivores because I believe Hack Your Health is going to start in Texas. And that's a big deal. A lot of people going. I kind of wish I was going, but it wasn't in the cards for this year. And that's okay. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the video that comes out from Todd and the gang, Limitless Lindy, and all those who will be participating in all the festivities for the event. Just as a matter of, I don't know, review. There you go. That's the word I was looking for a review. I've been doing the carnivore slash, aka ketovore slash, somewhat ketogenic diet now pretty stringently for, I would say, the last 100+ days. I have no idea why I took my glasses off. I'm not going to be able to read my phone, keep all my data on my phone. Yeah, so today would be about day 106. Have I been perfect? Have I been absolutely adhering to all the carnivore ways? No. Am I worried about it? Even less. If you use the defining term that some do, that carnivore is when you eat more than 70% or more of your diet comes from animal products, then I can say, yeah, I've been very, very strict. Very well within the 70, probably really well to say within 92%, because 92 sounds better than 90. But yeah, I've been pretty strict about it. What have I noticed or changes or good things? Uh, let's see, my energy level. Let's talk about energy level. My energy level is much better. And that is to say, as long as I'm not overly exerting myself. Case in point, right early on, I went ahead and I was helping someone. We were cutting down trees at someone's house, cutting the trees into useful firewood for my fireplace. And I was able to do that, help cut down. I didn't cut them all down myself, but help cut down, cut up 6 or 7 trees. And these were red oak. And there was another word I can't really remember, but good hardwood trees. Load them up in my truck, take them back, take them here to my house, offload them in the back, go back, load up another load, and bring it back. I did that, and I didn't die. And I got a heck of a cold. I think I got really tired. I think a lot of things that I do are based on, of course, my personal experience. And my personal experience is when I do a lot of heavy exercise, I get a really quick biofeedback. Like, I'm sore, I'm tired, I have muscle fatigue, I have failure, I can't go. So then I stop. Makes sense. But here in the carnivore way of eating, I'm noticing that I'm not getting that signal that I'm fatigued in a painful way, but more that I am just tired. So if I slow down a little bit, I can keep going and going. I suspect that might be an attribute of being fat adapted because I've got plenty of fat. I can go my 40 days or 40 nights, probably 100 with no food, and I still have plenty of energy to spare. Now, would it be healthy for me? I doubt it. I suppose under a doctor's supervision, I could do it. I won't, but I could. I don't know. But the thing is I'm not getting the same feedbacks, that I was before. So what this entails for me is I have found myself pushing beyond my, reasonable endurance levels because I could, not making the connection that I'm gonna pay for it, normally in the form of a cold. That cold virus is it's always on our bodies, it's always around us. Just that sometimes, or most of the times, our bodies are strong enough to fight it off. Mine isn't yet. I have a pretty bad case of asthma. That gets in the way as well because I'm not breathing well. I'm not getting all the oxygen in, and I'm not getting all the carbon dioxide and the other things out. Happens. So that's what I've really noticed. I've noticed that I'm not going to say my strength is super high, even though I'm pretty strong for an older guy. I'm not able to tear phone books in half, or who has a phone book. But I do find that I get my immune system weakened when I overwork. Another case yesterday, well, here lately, my riding mower has been on or in op. I'll just say it's in op, and so we're waiting to get the parts and pieces, and we'll fix it, and then I'll have my riding mower. But the wife and I have been using our walk behind mower. Now it does have a front wheel power assisted, which is very, 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 very nice. But we walk 4 miles cutting the front and side yards and a little bit of the back, not much of the back. Backyard, altogether, we have well over an acre. It's a lot of mowing. But I did it yesterday. I was a little sore this morning. My back was sore, not from anything more than I think I'm being tall. I'm leaned over, pushing and doing it. I think that kind of got my back a little bit uh, sore this morning. With Tylenol, I'm good. But I am finding though my energy levels much high. Hi and welcome. Welcome to the carnivore discussion here at lunchtime today. Just making sure that people realize I'm still out there doing it, still watching. I participate in a lot of different videos. I watch people on their lives. But every once in a while, I want to put one out just so people know I am still here. I am about 4 people away, what is it, 5 people, 4 people away from getting to that critical number of 500 viewers. And see, I'm down to 494. So I need 6 more followers, and I'll hit that 500 mark. Yeah, but just wanted to touch on some things that I've been realizing now in my 100 plus days of being on carnivore for the second time. Boy, do I feel silly not staying with it. But I fell down in a big way last October, stayed off the program, put back on the weight, got the inflammation, all that stuff. Fatty liver, still a fatty liver. We'll talk about that a bit more here in a minute. But went back on it in February. But I put in 2 new twists that I haven't done and I hadn't done before. The twists are I stopped all recreational drinking of alcohol, except for this last Friday night. I had a couple, but generally speaking, I'm 100% alcohol free. I can't say it anymore. I will be again. Important lesson. I had another lesson, and I was watching another video today earlier, and it was interesting on uh, testing things out to see how you feel about things, right? And I know that in my testing things out, I messed around and found out that you can't you really, how do you say it? There are some things you probably don't need to go retest, right? Right. I was listening to Carrie Mann in Homestead How talking about how um, if a person was addicted to cocaine, you wouldn't give them grief and say, "Hey, maybe you can do a little bit more, a little taste, just control it a little bit." No, for me, sugar has been a real problem. I would say pretty much my whole life. I'm not when I was a little baby, but probably since 1966, 4 years old. I remember lifting sugar cubes and the rush I get from sugar cubes, and taking the Tom Collins or daiquiri mixes, and that my dad would have me help him make for mom, and mix them up and made like a real sweet lemonade. I remember drinking those as a 4-year old. So yeah, I've had a sugar problem for a long time. That sugar problem morphed into a fake sugar saccharin problem. So this time around in doing the carnivore way of eating, I have gone ahead and removed all the fake sugars, and so I have not had fake sugars for approximately 100 days. I started that a little bit afterwards, so I started doing no sugar. Let's see, no added sugar. Probably started. I didn't know I was that far. Okay, about a month in. So about the 15th of April, I remember that. That's right, tax day. On tax day, I said, no more, no mas, no more saccharin. My 27-year affair with saccharin was ended. Divorce court was held, and I'm not doing it anymore. Do I miss the sweetness at times? Yeah, I do. Yesterday, we decided, the wife and I, it was our anniversary. We celebrated our anniversary, 33 years. Not bad, eh? Well, it's amazing she put it up with me for this long. But we went out. It's like more of a celebratory weekend. I got this job now. I'm working again, so which is a good thing. That's why this won't be a very, very long live, because I will have to go back to work. But I went ahead and we did some fun things this weekend. We went and did things and went places and enjoyed it, and we had a lot of reminiscing about the previous 33 years and how we can't believe we made it to here. Which, by the way, on another note, when you work hard and you make the sacrifices, you probably end up in a pretty good place. No guarantee. I know we did. I feel very fortunate and blessed to be here. Really irks me. Someone here recently in one of my wife's circle of friends won't keep a job and always seems to have a lot of drama, and it's always everybody else's fault. You know those people. And the words that came out of the mouth of this person were something to the effect of, "I have my principles, and I will not compromise on my principles for merely a job." But then they come to me and my wife, and they want to borrow one of our cars to go on a road trip to go visit a family member. Wasn't for the kids and the other individual in that relationship, I was full ready to say no, full stop, no. You don't get to say, "My principles are so strong that I'll let my family suffer." Particularly when the principle is, "Oh, I can't go work for the man." Oh yeah, this individual's fat. Keep wanting to get Georgia Eads book and start giving it to people who are mentally unhinged. Like, here, read this. Maybe this will help. Better than a Snickers bar, okay, Mikey? Anyhow, I to try to pull a story back into things, the wife and I went and had a good weekend. What we did yesterday, went out, we had burgers. My wife loves hamburgers. And my wife is supportive of my carnivore journey now, and she sees the differences. She sees how I was when I was on carnivore-ish, carnivore, but still having some drinks and still having the fake sugar, how I am now, the changes in my body, my energy, my mentality, all those things. So she supports my carnivore journey. And of her own volition, she is joining me in a ketogenic way. And I'm fine with that. I'm ecstatic about that. I, she still has a penchant to have a bowl of cereal now and then, rebellion or whatever. Fine. Good. We're getting better. It's a spectrum, right? So we went out, had burgers, and then we went to Baskin and Robbins to 31 flavors. And at Baskins and Robbins, I had a scoop of lemon custard something. I should have got the kids scoop in hindsight, but I got the scoop. Why? When I was watching the Minimalist Carnivore and his video, if you haven't seen it yet, why I test foods on the carnivore diet and how it's made him. Um, the idea is I wanted to re-engage with sugar to see how I'm going to do, because sometimes I have blueberries. Remember I said I'm about 92+% carnivore. I had 50 grams of blueberries. Sometimes I have my blueberries smashed with heavy cream, sometimes smashed with heavy cream and a little allulose, maybe in some apple cider vinegar. Tastes like the inside of a pie. I like it. Doesn't kill me. And I can take my Keto Mojo and test my ketones, and it doesn't always knock me completely out of ketosis. I had the ice cream yesterday. Nice old scoop. By the way, they over scoop. I know this. Used to own an ice cream store. The wife and I ran one for almost 3 years. We not only owned it, we did the day-to-day scraping the ice cream and shakes and malts and floats, the banana splits and sundaes. Hard ice cream, not soft. And so I know ice cream, and I know my penchant for it. We had it. She had her Jamocha almond fudge. That's her favorite. She loves that Jamocha almond fudge. So I said, well, let's get a burger first. We're going to eat first. It came with tater tots and French fries. Of course, I didn't have any of that. The wife didn't eat her tater tots. Well, she may have had 2 or 3. She's not going to eat the bun. Pretty much she had a little bit of the bottom of the bun. Great. And then we went to get the ice cream. We ate the ice cream. And we realized it wasn't really worth it. Hey, welcome. Hey, by the way, if y'all could smash that like button and let folks know that we're here, I'd appreciate it. And if you could throw me a follow, I am 6 people away from hitting that magical 500 followers. So hey, good to see you, Diane. Been a minute. How are you? Keto Mojo, and even had sugar ice cream. Okay. Well, okay. The question though, Diane, for me in that regard is, how well fed were you when you had the cake? In other words, I was pretty much fasted for 8 hours before I had the burger I ate with cheese, and then I had the ice cream. And I was pretty much in ketosis, sitting in a moderate type ketosis, and then I had the ice cream, and I came back, and 3 hours later, I was still in a point 6, so light ketosis, but there nonetheless. Anyway, so I don't know how well fed you were at that time, but it's good to see you out there. I appreciate that. I thought I saw you had a video working on, were you working on? No, 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 no. That was someone else working on the bench. I apologize. How your eyes been doing? Oh, and heavy in ketosis. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we each have, everybody biomedically different. But the important part of the whole exercise is I wanted to test my resilience of going out and having off-plan food, but then staying on plan afterwards. Like in October, once I started eating the chocolates, now that may be a big difference too. But once I started eating those little chocolate candy bars at Halloween, I didn't stop. That was a problem. Now I've been off of sugar and sweet things for, the better part of 3 months. I think my ability to stay off the sugars is good and much more improved. Therefore, I got home and I didn't go crazy trying to eat blueberries and allulose and all that stuff. Feel pretty good about it. This morning I woke up and came out and did my work, came here to the office, and then the wife cooked up a couple of hamburger patties. So I had myself about 50 grams of protein, and it was a good deal. So I'm not I'm not off the program right now. I had my ice cream, didn't throw me off. Second, I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't like the ice cream as a sensory thing, you know? My perception of it wasn't it didn't elicit a response in my brain that says, "Ooh, I gotta have this." And I actually left some in the container, as did the wife. She left some of her Jerome Coleman fudge. So I wasn't, like, "Oh, ravenous. I gotta eat all this. I want more, more, more." I was like, "Yeah, man, I ate it. Okay. Well, didn't give me a headache, didn't make me upset." I felt it in my tummy a little bit, but man, hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Sandra. Good to see you. No, I did the old ice cream, and then we came home, and here's what gets weird. Earlier, I was talking about we came home, and I live in North Alabama. We're getting into late spring, and it's pretty warm and muggy. And my riding mower is broken, and so um, we decided we needed to mow, and we did, and I did. Wife and I with a walk behind mower with the power assist, but I walked 2 miles pushing that lawnmower in the heat. We have a very little hill, but still it was exercise. I mean, when I look at the total steps for yesterday, and I'm not a big stepper, I'm not a guy who goes out of his way to do a lot of steps. But the total steps yesterday, if I can get to it, we're gonna see. Can I get to yesterday? Probably not gonna let me. Okay, yeah, sure. So my total steps yesterday was 8,019 steps, and those steps, as you can tell from the bar at the bottom over here, where it's right here, right there, that was when we were mowing, right? And that was my 4,000 plus steps mowing the yard, roughly, 2 miles. Did I burn off my 1 scoop of ice cream? I don't think you burn it off. I think what happened is my liver said, "Hoo, hoo," and my tummy went, "Hoo, hoo," and my pancreas was like, "Yay!" And, I think I just made a bunch of glucose and replaced the glycogen and did things like that. I don't know. Oh, here, let me put this up here. Alright, Diane. Your eyes are worse, I'm so sorry, but in trouble with falling away and bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have long COVID. I'm so sorry. Biting my tongue. Biting my tongue. I'm sorry this is happening to you. But it does go to show when a lot of people will try to say, "Oh, carnivore is a panacea," like a country western song played backwards. I'm sorry, that's not the case. Sorry to hear about that. Hmm. That's just kind of a showstopper right there. But I'm glad to see you're out there. I'm glad you're still engaged in the fight. I think that's where a lot of us need to. Sometimes how they remember they would always have these things in an office, these little posters about, um, you know, be strong and, all the confidence building and everything, positive influences. Well, they're talking about one, if it wasn't for the knot at the end of my rope, I'd have fallen off. I think the bottom line is I think carnivore can be our knot, and we have to realize it for what it is. It doesn't do everything, but it does make things like BASF, it makes it a little better. Oh, there you go. Now, the CGM, I am interested in that, but I'm not willing to pay for it. And my last glucose was 83. My doctors are not going to do that. Now my insulin got up to around 9. I don't understand it. I think they just caught me at a bad time as far as blood tests. I don't get it. Because historically my insulin has been around 5.6. That's not bad. The other big thing for me has been the fatty liver, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But the final part about going out with my wife, and by the way, we haven't been enjoying 33 years of marriage, so it has really been good, and we've been really blessed, and I look forward to another 30 plus years of her having to put up with me. Hence why we're trying to be in better physical shape. So, but I was able to do the sugar, recover from the sugar, and stay on the program. I think that's the win right there. So that's that. We'll move on to the fatty liver here in just a minute. Catch up here. Yeah, thank God he did. He put the knot on the rope. Yep. You know, I would like to have a continuous glucose monitor, particularly for that dawn effect and stress. I can do the blood prick though. I can prick the fingers and it doesn't bother me too badly. Going on to the fatty liver. So 100 days on carnivore, and what do we know? I still have a fatty liver. That's what I know. And along with the fatty liver, there was concerns about uh, portal vein hypertension. Well, my docs aren't talking about portal vein hypertension anymore. Amen. Can I get an amen? So that's good. Now, there was a comment in there about surface nodularity, liver surface LSN, liver surface nodules. But here's a cautionary tale. You remember the story about do I write down what I eat daily? Not anymore. I used to. Pretty much anymore. It's gonna be hamburger or steak and then hamburger and eggs and butter. That's it. Pretty much all I eat. Sardines, all carnivore. Water. Trying to drink more and more water. Matter of fact, I will now. Pardon me. But with my fatty liver. So you remember the story about 3 blind men, and they're put in a room with an elephant, and they're asked to describe what it is, and they can't get the whole thing, so they all have different ideas. Doctor takes a look at my liver, and in looking at my liver, on the ultrasound. Yeah, ultrasound. Yeah, you got a fatty liver. But now there's these pockets that are, how do I say it? That are clearer. So that can be a problem. And what they're saying is that, and I'm looking for, I can actually I could probably bring up my liver results. Those are the words I'm looking for. Liver results. And in let's see what we find here. Ultrasound report. There it is. And then I need to bring this over. And I'm gonna work on this and talk at you if you don't mind. Do you mind? Oh, hold on. The idea is that when you see a liver with clear spots, a fatty liver, but like clear spots in it, it can be indicative of cancer. So I could look at this and I could think I have a challenge with liver cancer. And I'll make sure I don't have any, what do you call it? I don't want to have any PII here, right? Of my personal information, and we don't see that. There we go. Can we do it like this? I don't know. What can I do? What can you do with the broken sailor? There, I can do it like that. Oh, thank you. So, in looking at the liver, and I can actually show you my radiological pictures of my liver, but they're remarkable. And if you don't know what you're looking for, which is pretty much me, I've learned a little bit. I've been out there trying to learn. But when they look at the radiologist looks at your liver and they see areas that are not diffuse with fat, they think it's cancerous. But that is not the case. Let me present my screen. Share a screen. I want to share a screen. Which one do I want to do? I want to share an entire screen. That screen and share. All right, there we are. There it is. Ladies and germs. All right. Well, we'll go back to this one so I'm not over the data. So what we see here is follow-up imaging fatty liver and enlarged portal vein. That's what the reason, enlarged portal vein. Technique, sonograph images of the abdomen were obtained. Comparison was back in December of 23. So December 23 to May, we're only talking, October. So we're talking about a good 6 months, all right? Findings, the spleen is at the upper limits of normal in size. We'll stop right there. Well, if my spleen is a little big, pardon me, I'm big boned. I have a big spleen. Don't hold that against me, okay? It's not that bad. A big spleen, not that bad. I'm a big guy. Cut me some slack. All right. And it says measuring 12.5 centimeters, cranial, caudally, and mildly increased in width. So your spleen does things. It goes back and forth. I don't think it just stands in a static, I'm the spleen and this is all I am. I'm in my box. Okay. It does things, like our ankles swell or cankle. So it depends on what you have. The gallbladder is normal. Amen. Can I get an amen? Come on, people. Come on. Get an amen. I have a good gallbladder. And it says, without shadowing stone or mural edema seen. So my gallbladder in this high fat environment is doing well. That's important. Especially to me, my mother passed away of cholangiocarcinoma. That's a cancer of the biliary duct, right? And so I know bile and gallbladder, all that digestive stuff. So I'm very happy about that. All right. The common duct measures 5 millimeter approximately. Again, great. I got a 5 millimeter duct. Yay. Yay me. The portal vein is patent with antegrade flow. That means my portal vein's working. Things are flowing. There is no comment there about portal vein hypertension. Now, go on. There is hepatic steatosis with surface nodularity without mass seen in visualized portions of the liver as limited by shadowing from the steatosis. So, in other words, you got a fatty liver. We can't see all the way through it. However, there's some bumps on the surface of the liver, but no mass seen in the visualized portions. So it could be that my liver is kind of shrinking, or it's doing some modification, and this area with nodularity is not all bad, and there are no masses. no mass. Maybe my liver, maybe I don't know. I'm gonna talk to my doctor and say, can you say before that I have a grade 3 fatty liver, now it's a grade 2 fatty liver? I'm getting better? I don't know. These are questions I need to ask. So it says here, impression. Seen in visualized portions of the liver as limited by shadowing from steatosis, borderline splenomegaly or splenomegaly, megaly, splenomegaly, enlarged spleen. Impression, steatosis, just fatty liver. No more, no more of the portal vein hypertension. I think that's amazing. I do. I really do. So I just think that that's a great report for me. I don't have to worry about a whole bunch of stuff. It it's great all the way around. Um, we're going to ask about, hey, is my fatty liver a grade 3 or grade 2? They didn't give me a grading point. And what's even better is I had another image done at another facility in the same week. I had one on Thursday and one on Tuesday, and both of them come back with the, yeah, no, we don't see the portal vein hypertension. Can I get an amen? That portal vein hypertension is no joke. I didn't want that. You know, I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be in that victim mentality. So there we are. What I also take from this is 3 months of strict carnivore has not reversed 20 years of bad diet and 20 years of minimal exercise. That's what I get out of this. I still have a lot to do. I still have a long way to go. But I'm not giving up. I'm not going to surrender. I'm not going to throw in the proverbial towel. So I keep the towel with me so I can make that comment. No, I had the towel from my chair. Came in from whenever I come in from doing outside work and exercise, I sit in my chair. I don't want to sweat in my chair. So, yep. All right, what do we got here, Dan? Even if your doctor won't call it improve, look at how long. Yep, 100 days. Yep, that's right. You are absolutely spot on. And I have to say, I can tell through other things. And you know, the pastor at my church, he started giving me a little bit of a hard time. He started calling me Slim. Hey, Slim. Hey, turn sideways and stick out your tongue, zipper. But you know, at 6.5 foot tall, near 300 pounds, I'm not a zipper. I'm more like the whole sheet. But people are noticing, no, I got the little hollows going on, and that's great. But next, I have been working on trying to get more exercise into my life. So I could show pictures, but I'm supposed to do another video, just haven't done it. I went ahead and built a little platform to do the exercise bands with. I have bands and hoops, and I can do the stretchies. And you know what? My knee that has been bothering me for months, that a knee that will get inflamed, and it's all the fluid buildup, and I'll get on the floor and lift my legs up. I'll do lymphatic massage to try to release the fluid, and it helped. You know, it really helped. Exercise. I mean, resistance exercise, not the walking forever and ever, not my cross trainer forever and ever, but doing some concerted like squats. And I did a few sets of those. My knee is not bothering me anymore. I mean, it doesn't bother me 24/7, 365. It only bothers me after a lot of walking, like 2 miles of mowing or something like that. But I expect that, or laying on it, funny for all night long. I expect that. But right now, it doesn't bother me. And that's another win. Speaking of wins, have you all had any wins? Has anybody here had I don't know, what we like to do, a non-scale victory they wanna share or anything like that? Because if you did, by all means, please do. Also, as you all know, they have that, Hack Your Health event coming up in Austin. I know there are a number of people gonna be traveling, some of the people we listen to, Limitless Lindy, who, by the way, was first live here. Yeah. I think I was doing one of my late night with Scotty P and Lindy checked in. So she's going to be going, and that's a long trip. She's flying from way down under, long trip. And Todd Bachnis is coming from the Carnivore Cure. I know Homestead How is going there. Carrie Mann with two of his daughters. He was doing food prep video this morning. And numerous people are going. Obviously, many thousands of people. I would say probably a few thousand people go to that. Of course, all the doctors, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Barry, Dr. Sivis, Doctor, they're all going to be there. Doctor. And they're going to be doing some great speaking engagements, plenums, whatever you want to, plenaries, I guess you would call it. There'll be plenty of opportunity for people to get one-on-one. I will not be going. I went ahead and messed around and got a job. So that's not in the calendar for me. Your body mass index now 21. Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. Man, I'd be jealous. I'd be gelling. Yeah. Yeah, I can't afford to go. That's another way to put it. Thanks. I guess I could afford to go, but I'm just not going to go to the event because my dogs are going to bark. That's why. No, I'm not going to. Thank you. I don't know why she's barking, but she felt compelled, and it was so loud. I apologize. I could drive to Austin from here. It would only take me, I don't know, I could do it in a day if I really wanted to, but 2 days would make it easier, and drive back. And I can afford the hotels. But I don't know. I don't want to go until I'm successful. You know? Wow, that's great there, Diane. 5 pounds from wow, that is amazing. Man, for me to be 5 pounds away from my graduation weight, it'd be a lot of weight. Well over, I'd be at 100 pounds of loss for sure. You're not going to go, Alessandra? No one to watch your kid. Oh, yeah, I get that. I get that with the kiddies and the pets. I'm not going because one, the financial part, two, again, I want to walk that walk and do that type of thing when I am visually an absolute success, because that means I will have put the work into it, right? There's a gentleman doing positivity type thing, affirmation videos, who has a saying, and I don't know if it's his, but it's the success you're looking for can be found in the work you won't do or you're not doing. Hmm? The success you're looking for will be found in the work you're not doing. Now, I'll agree with that as long as it can be also stated that sometimes we dream not the impossible dream, not the improbable dream, but an improper dream. It just doesn't always mean we don't always want what's best for us. What's achievable, all those other comments, sure, we can talk about. But I have my guitars, and I'm surrounded with, I got two guitars and a ukulele here, and I have to tell myself, I'm just doing it for enjoyment. I'm not doing it to make a living. I'm never gonna be that good. I'm never gonna put in the work for it. I used to get mad that I haven't progressed and gotten better at it, but then I've realized I'm not putting in the work, and I'm not going to. I just like to get around and plink around on it every once in a while. Just a little, a little something, something. Not trying to be an entertainer, but for myself. I think that's another thing carnivore is teaching me, that I am the judge that I'm trying to impress, not everybody else. And for me, going to something like Hack Your Health would be a lot more enjoyable when I can sit there and say, well, I lost 75 pounds. I've improved by taking my 46-inch waist down to a 38-inch waist, right? Something like that. I I may be wrong, but that's pretty close. Now, this year also it's really easy because, well, gosh, I'm working. So no big deal. Well, yeah, and how about instead of impressing the Lord, how about just not ticking him off? Hmm? Not disappointing. I get the gist of what you're saying, and you're absolutely correct. Being a good steward of the resources we've been entrusted with. Hmm? I get that. Um, got a little fly in my studio. Oh, hey, little fly. Hey, buddy, go on. But no, so the carnivore thing for the 100 plus days been going good. I'm um I'm not sure about the weight. I just know that my body is changing, and my strength and my endurance are improving. I can't say though right now that my immune system is super improving, but it's not horrible either. I have a lot of asthma issues and a lot of allergies, and I think that that was exacerbated by all the glycation going on in my body from all the sugar I was eating. So as we said earlier, and Diane was saying it, if you spend 20 years in a dysregulated body situation, then don't expect 90 days to fix it all. And if this is truly a life change for me, which I am feeling it is, and that life change being I am not seeking out, nor and now I am actively screening against sugars, added sugars, all those things, okay, all of it, the seed oils, the soybean, anything. I'm actively seeking it out to refuse it, to refute it, to keep it away from me. I'm keeping away of course, the low hanging fruit, not eating the candy bars and the candy, not eating the donuts, not eating the biscuits, the bread, the noodles. Now sometimes they sneak into my world a little bit, and not really sneak in, but I'm in a social event and I can't find a way around it. But by and far, 99% of the time, they're avoided. The ice cream I had yesterday, intentional. I watched for it. I kept an eye on it, and I'm done with it. So that's good too. Um, Going forward, though, it's the next big thing I have to do is I have to add more consistent resistance exercises and maybe sprinting on the cross trainer. I'm not going to do it outdoors. Mm-mm. Nope, not for a while. If I get my weight under 250 pounds, I might try to sprint, but right now I'm not going to do it. You still have many chocolate bars in your deep freezer there, Diane? Well, all right. As long as it's staying in your freezer. I remember when I was doing, do y'all remember, did you ever do like the zone diet with Dr. Randy Sears, Dr. Sears? I don't know if it's Randy, Dr. Sears. The reason I say that is that I had, and I lost a good amount of weight. And one of the things I did is I would buy the log of chocolate chip cookie dough, and I kept it in my little refrigerator. I was in a military school, and I would cut off one slice, finger width slice, and then I'd cut that into 4 pieces, and I could have 1/4 of a raw cookie. I know I'm not supposed to eat raw cookies. 1/4 of that. That was my portion after lunch and after dinner. So half of a cookie. Actually, I think whatever, just that 1/4 slice. And I did it, but once I got back home, once I got back around the normal influences, I went out the door, the weight went back up, and here we were again. So, um, like I said, going forward, I think 100 days in. Now, last time I was about 100 days in when I gave up. I was right around Halloween. Here we are going into June. I'll have to knuckle under, make sure I pay attention. That's the other thing. And I think you were saying something to this tune also, Diane, about am I keeping a food journal? I journal a lot of things, but food's not one of them anymore because I pretty much know what I'm eating. I'm eating to satiety, maybe a little more butter, eggs, beef, chicken wings. But what I need to do now is, again, put that exercise in, put in meaningful, purposeful, intentional, um, challenging exercises. Mowing is a challenge, but not really, right? Walking can be a little bit of a challenge, but I need more at this stage. I need more effort. I've been watching some of the people talk about muscle hypertrophy and how that demands for the motor units to be engaged. Therefore, you have to have your concentric forces close to maximal, or you can have, what do they call that? Momentary muscle failure, where you lift until you just can't get that last rep. And that should happen before 30 reps. So you can do as few as 4 or 5, but you have to lift like a tremendous amount of weight, and have a spotter, or do 12. What you can do for 12 reps, and 12 is just like, or maybe 10, and you can't get can't get it. I need to do that. But then if I do that, you only have to do it like once every 4 or 5 days. And then you can take a few days off, do some cardio, and then, around and around. I know up here, but I need to put it into the groundwork. So that's pretty much been about it. Those are some of the things I wanted to chat with you all about and let everybody know that I'm still working on it and still participating and engaging. And if you see me out, you'll see me on the different lives and trying to add my 2 cents in. Sandra, what do you have here? We have all my freezer meat and some fish. There you go. There you go. Pretty much for me. We have a couple little pizzas, but they're for the grands. I eat sardines. Yes, I like mackerel too. Yeah, I agree with you. I have been taking a fish oil supplement, right? And when I take the omega-3s, I get a little bit of scaly skin right here on my nose. It just starts to I can feel it, and it's like, wow, what's the deal with that? But that's how I know when my omega-3s are coming in. But yeah, I love sardines and I love mackerel. I mean, I don't eat herring because it's just not something I find on the shelf regularly. Fish oil supplements, yeah, I agree. I have some question too, Sandra. I really do because, um, you know, I've done fishing, right? I get it, but you really don't squeeze a fish to get oil, right? They call it a oily like salmon, or maybe get the cod livers. But I think, and Dave, what is his name? I have to look it up. Um, Feldman? No, man, it wasn't Dave Feldman. It was another young man from down under. I'm gonna have to find his. I'm gonna have to find his thing. Uh, let me not try to stumble over my tongue too much. I watched his video, and he talked about vitamin D a lot. And he talked about how vitamin D. Yeah, Mason, Dr. Paul Mason. Um, Talked about vitamin D and vitamin D supplementation, which I do a lot of, and I got my vitamin D level up in my blood. But I'm finding out he's saying, so what? If your vitamin D is low in your blood serum, it might be because of all the fat you have, all the adipose tissue. And that vitamin D is actually a natural sunblock. Anyway, it was a very interesting, it was with Dr. Chafee. But if you get a chance to look it up, it's vitamin D and supplements, Dr. Paul Mason and Dr. Chafee. It was kind of interesting. So it makes me think on fish oil. Supplementing my omega 3s is probably good. But riddle me this. The challenge is the exorbitant amount of omega 6s in our diet. So doing the things I can by getting free range organic eggs and maybe better grass fed beef, and if those are the only things I'm really eating, and butter, then my omega 3, omega 6 profile should be improved. I mean, is that train of thought logical? I mean, let me know, but I don't have to add things. If I'm eating the proper human diet, as Dr. Berry was the proper human diet, if I'm eating the proper human diet, do I need to supplement? If the beef I'm eating and the lamb or the whatever it is I'm eating, if it was raised in a heritage ancestral way, I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's go. Let's see. Diane saying, yeah, impurity, meaning purity. Yep. You're probably right. Good point. They do go around. Yeah, I know. I've got a bottle of rancid ones. Hmm. All right, good. Yeah, I know. You know when I eat the chicken wings? When I don't have anything else on the menu. And then I get them plain, but I know they're fried in the bad oil. I know. I know. Okay, I gotta be done pouting. I ate it all ever. Oh, well, I know I eat a lot less of it, that's for sure. I might have a pound of wings once every other month on average. I mean, I heard it funny this morning. I was watching Kerry Mann on his Homestead How on his Vertical Live. He was doing food prep, and he was talking about they feed their dogs to carnivore, and he gets the chicken quarters, leg quarters, and he grinds it up, bone, gristle, meat, skin, and all. And that's what they feed their dogs. They give them like 1 ounce per pound of body fat. So dogs get about a pound. My dogs would get about 3 or 4 ounces. No, well, no, my dogs, no, 1 ounce per 10 pounds. 1 ounce per 10 pounds. That's right. Anyway, he said, people, you mean, he said he fed it to his dogs. His dogs got healthy. The dogs lost a lot of weight, and they're just shiny coats and energetic and feeling good. They took them to the vet. the pet doctor, right? Took him to the vet, and the vet was like, "Wow, the dog's doing great. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it." And he goes, "Well, we're feeding him carnivore." "Oh my gosh, can't do that. No, 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 don't do that. No, 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 no. Not the carnivore." "Hey, wait a minute ago you said he was fine. Now you say no." "Oh, no, 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 no." And then Kerry adds in his own unique way, he says, "So let me get this straight. In days gone by, the dog would run out after a rabbit, catch the rabbit, slaughter the rabbit, then get a couple sticks and rub it between its paws and make a fire. Then he'd grill it and salt and pepper it, and then he'd grill it on a stick. And then after that, he would eat the rabbit." Made some sense. Yeah, that's right. If they're fried in doggone seed oils, I agree. I agree. Sardines the most nutrient content food. It would take time to heal. Okay, that's true. And I do like the sardines. I have no problem eating them right out of the can. Hmm. Yeah, doctors are strange like that. It's amazing, and I love it when I'm hearing people in the carnivore community talk about that. How people will say, when I was 400 pounds and sticking donuts and pizza in my face and washing it down with soda pop of your choice, y'all never said anything about it. No, no, no. You said, go ahead, go ahead. Now that I lost weight, but I'm carnivore. That's horrific. Now you're concerned about my weight? Now you're concerned enough to make a public proclamation about what I'm doing? Well, here you, right? I'm like, man, I tell you what, the billions and billions of dollars spent by big pharma, big medicine, and the legal community and all that, they have they have they have earned the blind adherence that they have. Why, if you don't give your kid Tony the Tiger flakes with sugar all over them, and then throw in some raisins and throw in some this and that, and then, put in a little bit of your banana. Don't want to not be healthy for your children, put in a little bit of banana. 5 times the sugar you need for a whole day in your first meal of the day. What could go wrong? Yeah. What could go wrong? I tell you. Yeah, taurine. Yeah. Bottom line, we need to eat more good food, more good meat. That's what we need to do. I was looking at that, the whole taurine and some other chemicals. You can get unsalted butter has some great chemicals in it, and meat. Turns out, eat a bunch of meat, vary your meat between the ruminants, and you'll be all right. But this whole idea, though, to strike that chord one more time, breakfast. We should look at babies and see what babies, maybe not baby, but young toddlers, how you have to how you have to trick them to eat vegetables. But you can hand them a rib and they'll nom on that thing till the end of the day. They're num 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 on a rib, right? I mean, come on, really, seriously. Um, I really don't think that all the doctors are absolutely corrupt. I just think that too many of them are blinded. We ask a lot of them. I know I made a comment, I think it was on one of Dr. Bickman's uh, recent videos about how we do heap a lot of abuse on medical professionals, but there are forces at work that are external to the individual doctor. They go to a lot of school. They're really smart, capable people. And I think their heart has been in the right place for a long time, but they legally can't do certain things. I mean, I'll watch some of the lives with doctors on board. They're going to have to say, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not your doctor. I haven't had a chance to evaluate you. There's a whole standard of care issue. Um, it is a veritable minefield for doctors to truly treat a patient. Because let's say that patient, we've already discussed it here. We all respond differently to our environment and what we're doing, and whether we're full keto, partially keto, not eating chicken, right? We're all so uniquely different. And doctors get sued. I mean, doctors who don't make egregious mistakes, doctors who were just the attending physician in this process of life, they can lose everything. So they lean back onto the standard of care, defensible in court. I think that's why Dr. Berry's attack on the American Diabetes Association is long overdue, because the only reason things will change is when it becomes too painful to maintain the way it is. Look at the tuna industry had to respond to the dolphin issue. McDonald's had to respond to the styrofoam issue. I mean, there's plenty of David and Goliath stories. Dr. Atkins was right. All the people speaking up and out against sugar were right. And now it's becoming de facto. I read somewhere where the ketogenic diet is the most studied diet there is, period. Kind of opens your eyes, huh? There's still billions of dollars to be made. Remember when smoking? Now both of you, whoever's left in here, you can recall the time when you would go to restaurants and ask for a no smoking section, right? Didn't really matter. Still smelled like the bar or an ashtray. Now think about it. You're hard pressed to find a public restaurant where smoking is cool. And that was only when I moved to Alabama 10 years ago. There was one restaurant that had a smoking area. We went into it one time and we never went back, and they closed. So I think perceptions will change. There was a time they used leeches, and you don't use leeches, and now they're using leeches for burn patients. So all this to say that I suspect 10, 15 years from now, we're going to see a lot less of the sugar-coated cereals in stores. I believe there'll be some successful lawsuits against the practice of targeting children like they used to with cigarettes, right? Now, a lot of people will go, well, you'll just have to moderate. Well, moderate your smoking, moderate your heroin use, moderate your cocaine use, right? When the scientists, alcohol could be in the same boat. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. But gambling, right? So yeah, there's a hey, it's Mr. Chris. How you doing, brother? We had a good Memorial Day. We did a lot. It's anniversary week for me and the missus. We did 33 years now. I should have rethought that one. When we got married, I remember I was so when you're in love, you're young, and you just want to do all the things, you know what I mean? And getting married. I want to get married and proposed, and we pick a date. Well, I want to make sure I have time for the honeymoon, and I want to have time off. So I was in that weather school, and well, we'll do Memorial Day weekend. I'll get an extra day off. Yay! I would never recommend that. You want to go spend some time with your significant other, celebrating the moment, and it's going to do it with all your friends and neighbors because everybody's doing it. So wasn't real smart on my part. I know you did. Thank you. We had a great time. It was awesome. A lot of awesomeness. Anyhow, but yeah, I just think that to go back to, I don't think doctors are bad people. I don't think they mean to be. I think they're just put in an untenable position. So few doctors want to be obstetricians now and deliver babies because the cost and the risk are astronomical. And when you add to it irresponsible patients, that's not good. Hey, the champion within. Hello, my friend. How you doing? You doing well? Great meal you put up there the other day. I saw that. The breakfast over. I don't know if I'd call those over easy eggs, but I'll go with it. They were over easy for you. They were over easy. And hamburger. I had the hamburger for sure today. Had the bacon and eggs yesterday. But I think the doctors get a bum rush, and patients. Patience. We should be more. And Chris, you're going to hear it now. You see, you're here, Chris, and now you're going to send me down this path. But a patient needs to know more than my tummy hurts. Your tummy doesn't start at your throat and end at your kneecaps. I think patients need to be able to go to the doctor and go, I need to stop this habit, whatever your habit is. I know I need to. Doc, I'm working on it. What can we do in the meantime? The doc's, well, we can try this, we'll try that. Right. But I don't think patients are helping the medical thing either. And you got people out there who want to do it and they want to take their medication and they want to be sick. I know a lot of those people who are here now, a lot of people who might watch this in the future, you don't want to be sick. But we do know those people who identify as, oh, I would love to be able to go out on a 5K, walk, or do one of those fun things, or I'd love to go out, walking on the trails or bike riding, but well, I've got, and they go down this laundry list of things, and then they'll sit there and they'll enjoy their cake and ice cream and buns and burgers and pastas and rices and all that stuff. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. Poor me. Tell you what, you are a victim. You are a victim of big pharma, big food. I get that. But there's a time when you sit there and you say, I'm no longer going to sit there and say, I'm a victim with no power. I'm a victim with no choices. Victimhood doesn't serve you at all. Rather yet, I will take steps to educate myself, to surround myself, and to change myself to where I can, like that serenity prayer, you know, grant me the wisdom to know what I can change and the strength to go through with it. The whole accepting part we've got down pretty good. I know I did. I accepted being fat. I accepted that not going outside and doing anything and being limited, being in pain and being under medications. I accepted that. What I wouldn't do, and I could recognize what I needed not to do, but I had no wherewithal to do anything about it. So now I do. All right, what you got here? Clean skin. Yeah, I remember, that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. A friend here, Chris, he came through a good scare and a great doctrine. And as you read more and more and more and more, they find out, Chris, a whole high carb diet is pretty much a major underlying reason for a lot of cancers. So that's good. Yep, soda. Ooh, I love me some soda. Love me some soda pop. That diet soda. Not anymore. It doesn't love me back. I'm not investing in people. I'm not going to answer the way. I'm not investing in things and people who don't invest in me. That's the way it is. I think some of my children are going to have a question about that too. I think my children are going to have to deal with that. If you're not going to invest in me, I'm not investing in you. I'm going to divest myself as best I can. Yep. Now, you know what the microplastics, though, Chris? I got a question about microplastics. We'll get to that here. I'm going to catch up on some of the other comments. Yep. Taurine and meat. Yep. I don't know. blocking that. And Diane, you have a question. I don't know. I don't know. Cancer, diabetes 3. Yeah, a lot of people are using diabetes 3 as a moniker for um, debilitating things like dementia, right? And things in the brain. Just the other day, I was reading and learning about how when we have too much glucose in our body, and the glucose can go across the blood-brain barrier, and in the brain, that glucose can then be made through a sorbitol process, can be made into fructose, and then that fructose is then made into the same stuff that gives you gout, and those crystals are in your brain and they are part of those amyloid plaques in your brain. Got to go far enough back in the kill chain because the uric acid, the crystals, uric acid can't go across the blood brain barrier. There's no receptor. So what happens is it comes across as glucose, and your glucose could only be as high as 120. And this process, the polynol process, Polynol, polynol, the polynol process can doesn't mean it is, can be initiated, and the polynol then takes the glucose and makes it into fructose, and then that fructose later on gets broken down, and the byproduct being the uric acid. Bad stuff. So yeah, lots of opportunity for things. Dr. Charles is saying cancer is diabetes type 5. See, yeah, they're waiting to put a name on it, They're waiting to put a name on it. Uh, Goes back to what I was thinking this past week. My grandparents, who came to the country on a boat, my dad's first generation, I'm second generation on my dad's side, obviously. Um, they ate a lot differently. They ate food that was recently killed or put into some sort of storage process, whether fermentation or drying or whatever they did. So the idea being is they didn't eat all the preservatives. They definitely didn't eat the seed oils. They ate a predominant of the diet was whole foods. Only reason they had more than one or two ingredients is because grandma cut the carrots and the onions and the peppers and the whatever else to put into the stew, right? It wasn't like when you read some of the stuff and the label is 75 chemicals. All right. So I think that's the big difference. And so we didn't have all those diseases, but now there's a rush to name them, and they're all basically a metabolic disease or metabolic derivative of a disease. If it sets in your kidneys, you'll have a kidney disease. If it sets in your liver, you'll have liver disease and lungs and so weiter, right? That's how that goes. Oh, I didn't do 17,000 steps. Oh, no, 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 no. I apologize. Not 17,000 steps. No, no. I did like 8,000 steps yesterday. That's a lot for me. The only way I do 17,000 steps is if I measure it for 3 days. I should do more. I should do more. Speaking of doing more, I've been out here a little longer. I'm gonna have to work a little bit of midnight oil, because I need to get back to my job stuff. So with that, um, I will bid you all adieu, adieu, adieu. I appreciate you coming in and appreciate you chatting and everything like that. Oh, but Chris, microplastics, real quick. I want to get to that, and then I'm gonna go. Microplastics, how is that defined? Because I was hearing how microplastics are being found in sedimentary layers of the earth. Is microplastics a boogeyman? Think about that. If a microplastic can have a connotation or be defined as a petrochemical, well, aren't there petrochemicals all in the earth? I mean, it's not like it's a little piece of a Coke bottle. It's not like it's a candy wrapper or a piece of this plastic box. If you're talking microplastics that they're finding in little food particles and little tiny things, uh, um, a microplastic could just be a petrochemical. Could we be, or are we being led down a path to find the new boogeyman? Global warming. Florida's supposed to be 24% underwater by now. Global cooling, we're all going to die. The ozone, we're all going to die in 10 years. Always finding something that has a little bit of truth and a lot of government dollars. Microplastics, oh my gosh. Riddle me this. We'll have to do that. All right. Well, yeah, I will have to let you go. I appreciate y'all helping me out. Thank you, Sandra, again. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Diane. Thank you to the champion. And we're going to let you go. And again, appreciate you dropping by. We'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.